Kubeta woman here, you just caught me having tea. I see you're admiring my coasters. Let me show you how to do those. They're very easy to do. To make these coasters, we would need a saw. We're gonna need a marking gauge or even something sharp as a knife. You need a ruler, or in my case I have a combination square, and we're going to need a lot of clamps because we need to clamp our wood together, and then of course we need some sanding paper and I had these two pieces of Meranti wood lying around. I had a piece of walnut strip from a previous project, and I thought this two would go very well together, especially because the one piece of Meranti was hacked very badly on the side there maybe from a previous project, and we can cut it off because of coaster size. I then decided, okay, let's glue this up. You can also possibly use a thinner piece, because in this project you will see that I have to cut through and make these two boards. If you have thinner pieces, it's easier to do than having to deal with thicker pieces of wood. Alright, I'm going to start gluing this up, and I'm using a really nice glue that I just apply on with a piece of stick. Old piece of stick that I'm just adding on. Yep, there we go. And now we sort of arrange it, clamp it together, make sure that it doesn't buckle. Make sure to put another clamp on just to keep it flat, or you can put a piece of wood on just to keep it flat. Now you need to have it dry. After we had our wood glued up and we set it, it's now time to unclamp it. Alright. Putting our clamps aside. Alright. If you can recall, this was a piece of Meranti on the side and a piece of walnut that we just glued together. So what the plan is to essentially cut this off because this has been hacked, and then we need to square up and then do our coasters evenly. Now because the glue sort of spilled out, we first need to clean that out, and for that we're going to use a chisel, and for this you basically just go and clear it up like that. Alright, so let's first do that and then get back to cleaning up, sanding. We have sanded our piece of wood that we've attached, and we've sanded it nice and smooth. This is at the moment at 120 grit. Now I'm still sitting with a board here, and you guys are wondering now, how is she going to make coasters from this? Alright, so a coaster size is usually 10 by 10. So it's 10 centimeters in. See, 10 centimeters in and 10 centimeters wide. But the thickness, I feel like this is too thick, and so the plan is first to cut through, and that is why we need our marking gauge or our sharp pointer to make a little mark down. And then to cut this off, square it off, and then do our 10 by 10s, and then we'll end up with 6 of these coasters. All right, so first things to do now is just to mark off this messy bit that is here, and so we're gonna cut this off. So first of all, what I need to do is just make a line down, mark. A good tip before you start using your saw is when you draw the line, rather use a little cutter and cut into the wood. Make a few cuts, and that gives you sort of a starting line to begin with. So when you start putting down the wood, okay, let me just clamp this down, and you start, position yourself behind to look straight at the piece of wood, and then you have this guide to work with. Okay. First 2, and off you go. You first go straight, and then you focus on the corner. I've evened out the sides of the board, and now we need to cut through like that. Easy way to do, we measure. This is about 2 centimeters, as you can see. So if we cut through, that means it needs to be 1 centimeter. We have a choice of using this knife, right? And we just take our ruler after we've mentioned once, and then we cut a 1 centimeter across. Or I'm going to use my marking gauge, which I have already set at 1 centimeter, and I'm just going to continue to mark across. All across the board, I'm going to go mark across. And this will guide my cutting. Alright, there you have it, marked 1 centimeter, and now we can just sew. I have a woodworking clamp, and so what I've done is I've taken one of the longer clamps and just clamped the board attached to the particular side. So this gives me plenty of sturdiness to start cutting from here. Okay, so after we've cut it in two, you've seen that it's important to sand again because you inevitably will have saw marks on it. And then you just want to sand again, go through your grits of paper from 80, 100, 120. This is 120 at the moment, and it's pretty smooth. But before I give it a final sand, I still need to give a final marking. All right, so our board is about nearly 30 centimeters, and so we need to mark off our 10 for our coasters, and then just saw it now in those. So let me make the markings and do the sawing for that. All right, hier vir my 10 en dan die hier vir my 20. square. Yeah. Just do that. Do that. Also take my marking gauge and go cross grain. Cross grain. Okay. Alright, so now gonna cut our coasters. We must continue sanding and just softening the edges a little bit as we go around. And then we are nearly done. For our finish, we're going to use linseed oil. This is Neo Paints. They have the boiled linseed oil. The unboiled and raw stinks too much, and I don't particularly like it very much. So after we've applied this, we will apply some wax on it. And just a little tip for furniture, and if you want to wax furniture, those old socks that haven't found friends yet, it is so easy just to use that and be able to polish your furniture. So that's a good little tip in terms of applying. Now I like applying with a rag, and so we're going to apply our linseed oil with a rag. All right, let's just get some oil on. Very good. All right, and let's see how that shines through. Ooh, the walnut looks beautiful. So you can see how the brown from the walnut complements the red of the Meranti. And you just apply this on. Wait a few minutes for it to soak in. Okay, I have to go all around. Ooh. Wax, like Mr. Miyagi say, wax on, wax off. Ooh. Wax on, wax off. Die wax lijkt mooi. And there you have it. Easy to make coasters. This will be a wonderful gift for someone that you care for and show off your woodworking skills. And Christmas is coming up, so think about that. I wish you well, enjoying these coasters with a nice hot drink of coffee or cool drink for the warm days to come. From Kubeta Woman, with love, always.